Michael Carrick's January transfer plan. Why United are keeping quiet and what it means for the future. Welcome back to United Daily Updates, your number one trusted source for all the latest Manchester United news, transfer updates, and expert analysis. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we are the channel that keeps you informed about everything happening at Old Trafford. Today we have got a fascinating topic to discuss. Michael Carrick has taken the reins as interim manager, and everyone wants to know what his plans are for the January transfer window. The transfer window is open. Clubs across Europe are spending millions. Big names are moving from one team to another. But at Manchester United, things have gone surprisingly quiet. Some fans are worried. Some fans are confused. And some fans are wondering if this silence is actually part of a bigger plan. Let us dive deep into what is really happening behind the scenes at Old Trafford and what it means for the rest of the season. The big question everyone is asking. Is Michael Carrick making a mistake by not bringing in new players? Or is he actually showing the kind of smart thinking that United have been missing for years? This is the debate that is dividing United fans right now, and it is a debate worth having because the decisions made this month could shape the rest of our season. What Kleberson is saying about United's future. Let us start with some interesting advice from someone who knows what it takes to succeed at Manchester United. Kleberson, the former United midfielder who won the Premier League with the club, has come out with his thoughts on how Carrick should approach this transfer window. Kleberson believes that Carrick should build the team around two key players, Bruno Fernandes and Matheus Cunha. Now that is a fascinating combination when you think about it. Bruno has been our main creative force for years. He is the player who makes things happen. He is the heartbeat of this team. And Matheus Cunha, well, he has not quite lived up to expectations since joining United, but Kleberson clearly sees something special there. But here is the really interesting part. Kleberson is also warning United not to rush into big spending this January. He is saying that sometimes the best business is no business at all. That patience can be more valuable than panic buying. And you know what? There might be a lot of wisdom in that advice. Think about how many times we have seen clubs spend huge money in January only to regret it later. Think about how many panic signings have failed. January is a tough window. Players are cup-tied. Prices are inflated. Clubs do not want to sell their best players mid-season. So maybe, just maybe, staying quiet is actually the smart move. The reality of United's January window. So what is actually happening at Old Trafford right now? Well, if you have been following the transfer news, you will have noticed something unusual. Silence. Not the kind of silence that comes before a big announcement. Not the kind of silence that gets broken by a surprise signing. Just genuine, straightforward quiet. Manchester United are not planning to make any new signings during this January transfer window. That is the reality. Carrick is going to work with the squad he has inherited. No big money moves. No emergency loans. No last-minute deals. Just the players who are already at the club. Now some fans are panicking about this. They are looking at other clubs bringing in reinforcements and wondering why we are not doing the same. But before we jump to conclusions, let us think about what this really means. Carrick has looked at his squad and decided that he has enough quality to work with. He has looked at the players in the dressing room and decided they are good enough. That is actually a vote of confidence in the current group. And after years of constant changes and endless new signings, maybe stability is exactly what this team needs. The situations with Zirkzee and Mainoo. There have been rumors flying around about Joshua Zirkzee and Kobbie Mainoo potentially leaving on loan. These rumors got a lot of people talking because both players represent different things for United's future. Zirkzee is a young striker who has struggled to get regular minutes. Some people thought a loan move might be good for his development. Get him playing regularly somewhere else and let him come back stronger. But here is the thing. Roma sporting director came out and revealed something very interesting. United cancelled talks for Zirkzee weeks ago and have never reopened the conversation. What does that tell us? It tells us that Carrick sees Zirkzee as part of his plans. Maybe not as a starter right now, but as someone who has a role to play. In a long season with multiple competitions, you need squad depth. You need options. And Zirkzee provides that. As for Kobbie Mainoo, the young midfielder who has shown so much promise, there was never really a serious chance of him leaving. This is a player who represents the future of Manchester United. He is homegrown. He understands the club. He has the talent to be a star. Why would you let someone like that go on loan when you are trying to build something? Both players are staying. Both players will get their chances. And both players could have big roles to play in the second half of the season. What Carrick really thinks about his squad. Michael Carrick has been quite open about his views on the squad he has inherited. He is not the type of manager who comes in and immediately starts criticizing what he has. He is not the type to publicly demand new signings and throw his players under the bus. Instead, Carrick has expressed genuine belief in the talent at his disposal. He has talked about seeing a lot of ability throughout the squad. He has mentioned the good number of younger players who are finding their way. He sounds like a manager who actually believes in his team. This is refreshing, is it not? How many times have we seen new managers come in and immediately start talking about needing 5 or 6 new players? How many times have we heard about squads not being good enough? Carrick is taking a different approach. He is saying that the talent is already there. It just needs to be unlocked. And you know what? He might be absolutely right. Look at the Manchester City game. United beat the reigning champions 2-0 with the players who were already at the club. No new signings needed. Just good tactics, hard work, and belief. If they can do it against City, they can do it against anyone. The formation and tactical plans. Now let us talk tactics because this is where things get really interesting. Carrick is expected to play a 4-2-3-1 formation with attacking fullbacks. This is a modern, progressive system that suits the players United have. The 4-2-3-1 gives you defensive stability with 2 holding midfielders while also providing attacking threat through the fullbacks and the number 10. It is a balanced formation that can be adapted depending on the opponent. Against weaker teams, you can be more aggressive. Against stronger teams, you can be more cautious. But here is the really fascinating part. Experts believe that Carrick would love to play Matheus Cunha in that number 10 role. This could be the key to unlocking Cunha's potential. Since joining United, Cunha has not quite shown what he can do. He has looked lost at times. He has struggled to find his place in the team. But what if he was just being used in the wrong position? What if he needs to play centrally as a number 10 where he can receive the ball, turn, and create? That is where Cunha thrived at Wolves. That is where he looked like a world-class player. And that might be exactly where Carrick plans to use him. If Carrick can get Cunha playing at his best, United suddenly have another top-quality creative player. Combined with Bruno Fernandes, that could be a devastating partnership. 2 players who can unlock defenses. 2 players who can create chances out of nothing. 2 players who can turn games in an instant. Why building around Bruno and Cunha makes sense. Let us go back to Kleberson's suggestion about building the team around Bruno Fernandes and Matheus Cunha. On the surface, it might seem strange to some people. Bruno is an obvious choice, but Cunha? Really? But think about it more deeply. Bruno is 30 years old. He is not getting any younger. United need to start thinking about the future. They need to identify the next generation of leaders and playmakers. If Cunha can fulfill his potential, he could be that player. Bruno brings experience, leadership, and proven quality. He has been doing it at the highest level for years. He knows how to perform under pressure. He knows what it takes to succeed at a club like United. Cunha brings youth, energy, and untapped potential. He has shown glimpses of brilliance. He has shown that on his day, he can be unplayable. What he needs is consistency. What he needs is confidence. What he needs is a manager who believes in him and builds the team to get the best out of him. If you can combine Bruno's experience with Cunha's potential, you have something special. You have a creative partnership that could carry United forward not just for this season, but for seasons to come. And here is another thing to consider. If United spend the next few months developing Cunha into the player everyone knows he can be, they will not need to spend £80 or £100 million on a new attacking midfielder in the summer. They will already have one. That is smart squad building. That is thinking long-term. The philosophy of patient squad building. There is a bigger philosophy at play here that is worth discussing. For too long, Manchester United have tried to solve every problem by spending money. Squad not performing? Buy new players. Manager struggling? Sack him and buy new players for the next manager. Season going badly? Emergency signings in January. This approach has not worked. United have spent hundreds of millions of pounds over the past decade, and what do they have to show for it? A squad full of expensive players who do not quite fit together. A team that lacks identity. A club that has lost its way. Carrick seems to be taking a different approach. He is saying that the answer is not always to spend more money. Sometimes the answer is to work with what you have. To develop the players you already own. To create a system that maximizes their strengths and minimizes their weaknesses. This is what the best clubs do. They do not panic. They do not chase every shiny new toy. They have a clear plan and they stick to it. They trust in their coaching. They trust in their development. They trust in their players. Look at Arsenal. They did not build their current team by spending like crazy every transfer window. They identified young players, developed them, and built a system that works. Now they are challenging for the title. Look at Liverpool under Klopp. Yes, they spent money, but they were smart about it. They identified the right players for their system. They developed young talents. They created an identity and stuck with it. Maybe that is what United need to do. Maybe this quiet January window is not a sign of weakness but a sign of strength. A sign that the club finally has a plan. The risks of this approach. Now let us be balanced here. There are risks to not signing anyone in January. Football is unpredictable. Injuries happen. Form can drop. Players can lose confidence. And when those things happen, you need quality depth to fall back on. What if Bruno gets injured? United do not really have another player who can do what he does. What if the strikers go through a dry spell and stop scoring? What if the defense has a crisis? These are legitimate concerns. Other top clubs are strengthening. They are bringing in players to improve their squads. They are trying to gain an advantage. By standing still, United risk falling behind. That is just the reality of modern football. There is also the question of squad morale. Players want to see ambition. They want to see the club trying to improve. They want to know that if they are struggling, reinforcements might arrive. A completely quiet transfer window could send the wrong message. And let us not forget about competition for places. Sometimes bringing in a new player creates healthy competition. It pushes everyone to raise their game. It stops people from getting comfortable. Without any new signings, there is a risk of complacency. These are real risks that Carrick and the club are taking. They are gambling that the current squad is good enough. That the coaching can get more out of these players. That development and improvement will come from within rather than from outside. What this means for the rest of the season. So what does all of this mean for United's season? Well, it means that the players who are here need to step up. There are no excuses now. There are no new signings to hide behind. The squad is set. Now it is about performance. For players like Matheus Cunha, this is a huge opportunity. Carrick clearly believes in him. The formation will be set up to suit him. Now he needs to deliver. If he can find his best form, he could become one of the stars of United's season. For young players like Kobbie Mainoo, this is their chance to shine. They are not being shipped out on loan. They are being kept at the club because the manager thinks they can contribute. That is a vote of confidence. Now they need to prove him right. For Bruno Fernandes, the responsibility on his shoulders just got even heavier. He is the main man. He is the player everyone looks to for inspiration. Without new attacking reinforcements arriving, Bruno needs to keep producing magic week after week. The defense needs to stay solid. The midfield needs to control games. The attack needs to be clinical. Every player needs to give everything they have got because there are no cavalry arriving to save the day. Comparing United's approach to other clubs. It is interesting to compare what United are doing with what is happening at other clubs. Chelsea are spending money as usual. They never seem to stop buying players. Arsenal have been linked with moves to strengthen their squad. Even smaller clubs are bringing in reinforcements. United are going against the grain. They are zigging while everyone else zags. And you know what? That takes courage. It takes belief. It takes conviction in your plan. Some people will criticize this approach. They will say United are not ambitious enough. They will say the club is not backing the manager. They will say we are falling behind our rivals. But maybe United are actually being smarter than everyone else. Maybe they have learned from past mistakes. Maybe they understand that throwing money at problems does not always solve them. The truth is, we will not know if this approach is right or wrong until the season plays out. If United finish strong, if the young players develop, if Cunha finds his form, then Carrick will look like a genius. If United struggle, if injuries pile up, if the squad looks short, then questions will be asked. The development focus. One thing that is clear from Carrick's approach is that he is focused on development. He is not looking for quick fixes. He is thinking about how to get more out of the players he has. How to improve them. How to help them reach their potential. This is actually quite exciting if you think about it. United have some genuinely talented young players. Mainoo is one of the most promising midfielders in the country. Garnacho has shown flashes of brilliance. Hodgland is still developing as a striker. These players could all become stars with the right coaching. Carrick seems like the type of manager who can develop players. He was a brilliant player himself. He understands the game. He knows what it takes to succeed at the highest level. If he can pass that knowledge on to the younger players, United could benefit for years to come. And it is not just about the young players. Even experienced players can improve. Look at how Cunha could be transformed by playing in the right position. Look at how the team's performance against City showed what they are capable of when the tactics are right. Development is a long-term game. It does not happen overnight. But if Carrick can create a culture of improvement, if he can get every player working to get better, then United will be in a much stronger position going forward. The financial perspective. Let us talk about money for a moment because it matters. Manchester United have spent an enormous amount over the past decade. Hundreds of millions of pounds on transfers. Massive wages. Agent fees. It adds up to a staggering sum. And what have they got for that investment? Inconsistent results. Players who have not lived up to their price tags. A lack of clear direction. Financial fair play concerns. The spending approach has not worked. By not spending in January, United are actually being financially responsible. They are not wasting money on overpriced players in an inflated market. They are not adding to the wage bill unnecessarily. They are being smart with their resources. This matters for the summer too. If United save their money now, they will have more to spend when the bigger transfer window opens. They can target their top priorities. They can be strategic rather than desperate. They can negotiate from a position of strength. Smart clubs think beyond the immediate moment. They think about long-term financial health. They think about sustainability. Maybe United are finally starting to think that way too. What the fans should expect. So what should United fans expect for the rest of January? Do not expect any big announcements. Do not expect any surprise signings. Do not expect any dramatic deadline day deals. What you should expect is Carrick working with his current squad. Training sessions focused on tactics and development. Careful rotation to keep players fresh. A focus on getting the best out of what is already at the club. You should expect to see Matheus Cunha getting more opportunities. You should expect to see the 4-2-3-1 formation being implemented. You should expect to see young players getting their chances when appropriate. Most importantly, you should expect United to focus on performances rather than signings. The Manchester City result showed what this squad can do. Now they need to do it consistently. Week after week. Game after game. The trust factor. Here is something that does not get talked about enough. Trust. Carrick is asking the fans to trust him. He is asking them to believe that he can get results without new signings. He is asking them to have faith in the plan. That is not easy for Manchester United fans. We have been let down so many times. We have heard promises before. We have seen managers come and go. We have watched the club struggle while rivals succeed. But maybe Carrick deserves that trust. He is a club legend. He knows what Manchester United means. He understands the pressure. He is not some outsider who does not get it. He is one of us. The players need to trust him too. They need to believe in his tactics. They need to buy into his philosophy. They need to work hard for him. And based on the Manchester City performance, it looks like they are already doing that. Looking ahead to the summer. While January might be quiet, the summer transfer window could be a different story. That is when United can really do their business. That is when the best players are available. That is when you can make transformative signings. By taking this patient approach now, United are setting themselves up for a better summer. They will know exactly what the squad needs. They will have seen which young players can step up and which areas need reinforcement. They will be able to plan properly. Carrick might not even be the manager by then. Remember, he is only the interim boss until the end of the season. But the work he does now could lay the foundation for whoever comes next. If he can develop Cunha, if he can integrate the young players, if he can create a clear playing style, then the next permanent manager will inherit a much better situation. The bigger picture for Manchester United. Let us zoom out for a moment and look at the bigger picture. Manchester United are in a transition period. That is just the reality. This is not a team that is going to win the Premier League this season. This is not a team that is going to win the Champions League. But this could be a season of important progress. A season where the foundation gets built for future success. A season where young players develop. A season where a clear identity starts to form. If you accept that reality, then Carrick's approach makes perfect sense. Why spend big money on short-term fixes when you are building for the future? Why disrupt the development of young players by bringing in expensive alternatives? Why not give the current squad a chance to show what they can do? This is about being smart. This is about thinking long-term. This is about breaking the cycle of panic and short-term thinking that has held United back for so long. Final thoughts before February arrives. As we head towards the end of January, Manchester United fans need to accept that no new signings are coming. The squad is set. The transfer window will close with United having done no business. Some will be disappointed. Some will be worried. But some will see the logic in this approach. Some will appreciate the focus on development. Some will trust in Carrick's plan. The truth is, only time will tell if this is the right decision. Football is unpredictable. Plans do not always work out the way you hope. But at least there is a plan. At least there is a clear philosophy. At least someone is thinking about the long-term health of the club. Kleberson's advice about building around Bruno and Cunha could prove to be spot on. If Carrick can unlock Cunha's potential and get the best out of the current squad, United could surprise a lot of people in the second half of the season. The Manchester City result showed what this team is capable of when everything clicks. Now they need to find that consistency. They need to build on that performance. They need to prove that it was not just a one-off but the start of something special. Join us on this journey. Here at United Daily Updates, we will be following every step of this journey with you. We will be analyzing every match. We will be tracking the development of players like Cunha and Mainu. We will be giving you the insights and analysis you will not find anywhere else. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel so you do not miss any of our content. Hit that notification bell so you know the moment we upload. We are building a community of passionate, informed United fans who want to understand what is really happening at the club. Whether you agree with Carrick's approach or not, whether you think this quiet January is smart or concerning, we want to hear from you. Leave your comments. Share your thoughts. Debate with other fans. That is what makes this community special. The transfer window might be quiet, but the action on the pitch is just getting started. United have big matches coming up. Important points to fight for. A top 4 race to stay in. This is where the real work begins. Carrick has made his choice. He is backing his current squad. He is putting his faith in development over spending. He is asking everyone to trust the process. Now we get to see if that faith is justified. Come on, United.